Welcome back to the studio. This painting is called Load. It's part of a series exploring the physical weight and psychological pressure humans face. The idea came from thinking about moments where life simply piles on. Responsibilities, expectations, pressure, and how the body and mind carry that. The idea behind the painting is to show how the body handles pressure and weight and burden. And when someone carries it, you tend to see it immediately. The posture changes, muscles tense, breathing changes, and that physical language is something which I try to portray when painting these paintings. As you can see with the time lapse, the first stage is of course a sketch, followed by blocking out the main colours of the painting, whilst adding some background too, just to give space, or to eliminate space should I say, and to give breathing room and space to the characters in the painting, the focal points. Getting the gesture and getting the proportions correct, building the layers gradually, is something which happens in the first pass, or the first few passes. First few passes basically means the first few sessions of working with this piece. Adding some midtones at this point, we've created the basic outlines, created the basic shape, we're just adding a little bit more depth. And this is how paintings are created. When they are created to this level, it's a case of just layering and layering and layering. And eventually you end up with an end product, something which looks vastly different from this stage, for example. The broader theme of this painting and the series of paintings is, or encompasses, discipline, strength, endurance, life pressure, responsibilities, carrying responsibilities. Strength isn't just about lifting weights. Sometimes it's about carrying pressure quietly and continuing forward, moving forward, no matter what life throws at you. And believe me, life will throw some huge things at you, and you should always be prepared for this. Painting in this way, it feels like a true form of expression for me. This piece is really about the idea that, well, everybody carries some weight of some kind, some form of load. The question isn't whether they carry it, it's how they carry it. I think this painting and this series of paintings is to harness the idea that we are humans, we carry burdens, loads, we are under pressure. But again, the question isn't whether you are carrying a load, it's how you carry the load. The reason why I think I've gone with this human-like figure is to create something timeless and meaningful. Not only meaningful to you, the viewer, but to me. One could say this is, I'm not sure whether I should say this, but I guess I should say what's going through my mind, and in the idea there is me. One could say this is an elaborate portrait, an elaborate self-portrait. We all know artists like to create self-portraits, although this is not a typical self-portrait, of course. The ideas behind this series evolved from a small body of work which acted as a barrier-breaking re-entry into my artistic pursuit, and I'm thankful for being able to have fun with some canvases and some paint before beginning this more serious series, because ultimately that's what spawned this new series, and I am very pleased with how they are looking. As you can see, Load is finished, or just about. It's just got a layer of varnish to do, but I'll leave that till the end of all the 6 paintings so I can get some consistency over the series and make sure I'm going with the right varnish. As you can see, the painting's coming along now. We're adding a little bit more depth, a little bit more deeper shadows, deeper tones, bringing out the depth, the shadows, the highlights. But again, this is just a gradual process. And for me, at the current stage which I'm at, there isn't no simple rule book to follow. It's just a case of add a new layer, do a bit when I can, and have a little bit of fun with it. The main thing is that I'm consistent and that I stick to some form of regiment to get these paintings completed, which thankfully I am doing at the moment. And I can do, and I will do moving forward. 100%. Let's talk a little bit about slow craft in a fast digital world. Everything these days is scrolling. Attention spans are shot, and it isn't good. It isn't healthy. It's not good to seek instant gratification. It's more fulfilling and purposeful to achieve long-term gratification for something which has taken you some time. It will make you wiser, it will gain you more skills, and skills are leverage. Painting the anatomy of the human body also increases the observational skill one has when coming to do such pieces. There is a lot I could talk about, but given the time lapse is almost coming to an end, we can see the background getting filled in with a little bit more detail, trying to add a little bit more reflective properties to the background, giving it a little bit more of a how would we describe the background there? We're creating a synergistic background, I think. Adding a little bit of texture. Just plain black would look flat, and so it kind of deserves a little bit of texture, a little bit of colour in the background as well. As you can see, the time lapse has almost come to an end, and I've spoke pretty much throughout the entire thing. I hope I haven't distracted you too much from the process of the painting coming together. I probably should say that there was more painting that the time lapse shows, but I didn't record absolutely everything. Anyway, just to show you briefly loading its complete state. As you can see, it's behind me here. Now, I appreciate it isn't the best way to view this painting given the slight glare from the light and the dimmed light which is currently permeating the room. Ideally this will be in a gallery at some point, or somewhere where it deserves to be. The only place it deserves to be right now is with the creator, but one day it will belong in someone's loving home to give them strength. Strength that it provided me whilst creating it. Strength that it provides me to create the next one.